Moving on to some more international diplomacy here with President Trump. Volodymyr Zelensky just got over to the White House to do some diplomacy. And by diplomacy, what it really seemed to be was a bit of a humiliation ritual where Donald Trump and J.D. Vance just decided to bully him. And the bullying, everyone's been saying, oh, Zelensky was disrespectful in the meeting. There's a 40-minute video of their meeting in front of the media of them having a discussion. And it's very respectful for the most part. But then Zelensky says something and it fucking kicks off and they start yelling at each other. And then Zelensky leaves without signing the treaty or the trade deal or whatever the fuck it was, right? I'm gonna tell you here, I'm a political commentator and I've noticed something that no one in the press has at all right? There is a small clip of before the meeting even starts of Zelensky arriving to the White House where Trump greets him outside the White House, and this is where the argument started. Not, 30 minutes into the 40-minute chat. It was actually hours before that chat even started, but it was immediately when Zelensky arrived in front of the media. You can go find this clip. Zelensky gets out of his car, walks up to Donald Trump, shakes Donald Trump's hand, and then Donald Trump points at Zelensky in his military fatigues and goes, oh, look, he's all dressed up. Look, he's all dressed up. And then he grabs Zelensky, faces him to the cameras and go, hey, look, he's all dressed up. Just fucking bullying him. Hey, look at this guy. His fucking country's being invaded, so he's dressing up like a general. What a pussy. Put on a tie, you little bitch. I'm sorry, but is that he's going, oh, why aren't you dressed up in a suit and tie? You're not in a war zone. He's a fucking wartime leader. He should be dressed like a... Am I crazy for thinking it's cool as fuck that the leader of a country is showing solidarity with his soldiers by dressing like them and reminding the world constantly that he's in a state of war right now? Is that not cool as fuck? I feel like that's awesome. But these people are making fun of him. You know what would look really fucking weird is if you were getting invaded by a much more powerful force and you showed up to dinner parties in suits wearing a Rolex. That'd be fucking weird as. I like that the guy's dressed up like a soldier. I think he looks cute. Also, let's not fucking pretend that the guy isn't literally being followed around 24/7 by assassins and security guards to protect him from those assassins. Putin's almost killed this guy in a bunch of different countries. You know that shit, right? So let the guy wear a skivvy. Fuck a tie. I don't want to fucking die after eating poison in a fucking 3-piece suit. Let me vomit up my guts in a skivvy, brother. Fuck that. Anyway, I reckon that's what kicked it off. Was Trump going, hey, look, he's all dressed up. Yeah, I like what Zelensky said. They said, why are you wearing this military costume? And he said, when the war's over, I'll put on my other costume, meaning a suit. Yeah, dude, it's a costume. Yeah, okay, cool. He's dressed up as a fucking military leader while he's actually at war. You've got a spray tan, brother. Let's not throw rocks from a glass house, all right? You can't be like, look what this guy's wearing when you're orange. I don't mean to be orange guy bad, but you've got a spray tan, dude. If we really want to talk about costumes, we can start with you. This guy spends more time in hair and makeup than his fucking wife does, and he's yelling at another dude for fucking dressing like a soldier when he's at war. You know what? Why Trump doesn't like the whole dressing like a soldier thing is that if it became standard for leaders at war to wear wartime outfits, the U.S. president would never be seen in a suit because they're constantly bombing other nations, eh? Anyway, I think it was a massive fumble on Zelensky's part. Like, you were going in to get belittled. Like, I feel like the Trump presidency is pretty easy to navigate if you're a world leader. Everyone's talking about how he's unpredictable and shit, but like, I think it's pretty easy to navigate. Like, a lot of people have figured him out. You go in, you go, wow. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, wow, I love this. Oh, this is so cool. I love what you've done. Is that oh, wow, I never would have thought of that. Was that your idea? Yeah, it was. Oh, amazing. Wow. Can you please give me some tips on how to run my country like yours? You are doing such a good job. You know who I hate? You know who I think is an idiot? Joe Biden. He's a fucking moron. And his son is a drug addict, and that laptop was bullshit. That's all he would have to do. And that guy, if all Zelensky did was, as soon as Donald Trump won, he blasted out a tweet that said something along the lines of, can we now agree that the laptop thing was real? There would have been nuclear warheads en route to Ukraine and not being fired at them. They would have been delivered in shipping containers for use against Russia in 20 minutes. All he had to do is tweet, Hunter Biden likes crack, and there'd be nukes on the way to Ukraine. Instead, he showed up and was like, I actually don't like it when my countrymen are killed. Talk about how cool Donald Trump is, and you'll get so much money that Russia won't try anything ever again. That's the problem. Zelensky went in there like he was entering reality. Like, you're going into Disneyland, brother. It's a song and a dance. And that's what the whole thing is. Donald Trump is like, being like, why do we give Ukraine money when we don't get anything back? Like, being president is a business. What you get back out of supporting European nations is European nations support. Like, that's what it is. What you get out of it is China and Russia knowing that if they fucked with you, they would have to also deal with the rest of Europe. By abandoning Ukraine and by going, why do we give all this money to all these people? How do we save money? Well, you know what the fucking US budget thing, they're trying to save so much money. You know what it reminds me of? You know that fucking tweet that's like, oh, I'm running out of money. I don't know how to fix my budget. Can you please help me balance my budget? And like the image is like rent, $400 a week, groceries, $50 a week, bills, $100 a week, Shrek DVDs, $1,000 a week. Can you please help me balance my budget? And someone goes, you need to start buying less Shrek DVDs. And the guy's like, no, don't be ridiculous. That's like the US with Israel going, we've got a big deficit. How do we save money? How do we save money? I know, we'll stop looking after our parks. We'll stop looking after our parks and reservations. Why don't we stop protecting our beautiful environmental pieces of paradise that we have here in Australia? Also, let's give 50 trillion, gorillion, bajillion dollars to Israel. Oh, why do I have no money? I saved 50 billion by letting parks be filled with plastic. Why am I going broke? And then one person goes, maybe we should give less money to it. And then he gets shot 10 times in the back of the head. And they go, yeah, that guy was really sad and depressed. He killed himself. Isn't that sad? Anyway. Trump Gaza, what do we think? So yeah, I feel like Zelensky completely fumbled that, you know? I mean, it's very similar to the Marty Sheargold thing. If you're on radio, you have to say how cool women's sport is. If you go in to have a meeting with Donald Trump, you got to talk about how smart he is and how dumb Joe Biden is and how he won the last election, and you'll get whatever the fuck you want. That's what Russia did. All right? Putin goes in and just like sucks the guy's ass. And then Trump's like, man, I love Russia. Russia's good. I love Russia. It's good. You know? Because here's the thing, right? Let's say that this whole thing is like, I mean, it is a fair question. Like, why are we giving so much money to Ukraine? It's a fair question, but like, and like, oh, why don't they just negotiate for peace? Here's the thing. Ukraine was invaded, right? If I think about this. Think about this like you. Like if where you live got invaded by a dictatorship, and then your leader just went, "Oh, you can have that bit." Now, me personally, I'm dying. Right? I'm now a guerrilla fighter. With or without the support of my government, I'm not going to live under a dictatorship. I will fucking fight that with my neighbors until I'm dead. I will fight for freedom until I die. Right? So like my desire to stop fighting is not decided by whoever the fuck was prime minister at the time we got invaded. You know, like if Anthony Albanese was made the fucking wartime leader and we suspended elections, I'm not fighting for him. I'm fighting for the freedom of Frankston. You know, that's a little bit ridiculous to say that I would die to keep Frankston free, but you know, I would. Like if Russia invaded Frankston and then Anthony Albanese, because he stopped getting money from fucking America, was like, "Oh, we have to just give it up," I'd be like, "Cool, you can't afford to fight for it, but I'm not fucking living," you know? So like the decision to stop fighting or not stop fighting like isn't really up to Zelensky. It's up to the people of Ukraine, and it looks like they want to keep going. And so would I if I got invaded and they fucking killed my wife and my neighbors. You know? That's like you look at fucking Gaza. They have no military. They're completely fucked. Everyone in there is 9 years old and they haven't quit because they got nowhere to go. That's Ukraine. They would rather fucking fight and die than live under a Russian dictatorship. I think like the way to beat Russia is don't you just wait until Putin dies? Like, isn't that you just fucking wait it out? And then he will die of old age or his successor giving him a snack. And then I feel like the whole thing's going to collapse. Like, who is going to drive Russia after Putin? Is there anyone? Like, genuine question, I don't know. I would love for someone who's like gone on an autistic fucking freak research period about like the current state of Russian politics. What happens when Putin dies? Because he is old. And he and people of his age are the only people who remember the USSR and the glory of it, which is what they're trying to return to. So like when he dies, what the fuck happens? I feel like some 50-year-old takes charge and is like, I don't see the point in fighting over Ukraine. Like, we're already one of the biggest countries in the world. Let's make Russia great again or whatever. I feel like Putin is trying to, I know Putin is trying to like recreate the version of Russia that he was a part of when he was a KGB agent. But like when he passes away of old age, if he makes it there, which he might, but if he does make it there, who the fuck drives Russia? And like, I feel like they're almost certainly not going to keep it going in the direction that Putin was, unless he's molded the fuck out of someone subordinate to him that genuinely loves him, which is, it's likely.